Channel Studios. Glad to have you along for the ride. We're going to get to Novak Djokovic pretty soon, but we got to start where we ended the day, because that match we just saw between Grigor Dimitrov and Dan Evans, as Evans is looking to get to his second semifinal in as many weeks, was an incredibly high level of play.
Oh, I loved watching that match. Variety, athleticism, slice backhands, topspin backhands, net rushing, all different tools were out for display. For me, it was a blast to watch. I thought Grigor did a terrific job in the second set after losing a tough tiebreak. Evans didn't buckle at all. Third set, Evans almost got up 2 breaks. He was very, very disciplined. 2 of the more exciting players, in my opinion, to watch play. I thought it was a high level.
It was from start to finish. And if you're Grigor Dimitrov, certainly some disappointment not getting through that one. But if you make a guy play as well as he made Evans have to play throughout that match, you've got to feel pretty good about your game and your tennis. And they were using the entire court. I mean, these points, they were stretched out. They were playing at the net in the midcourt area. It was fun to watch.
We'll break down the highlight later on in the show, so make sure you stay tuned. But we've got to get to the headline. And rarely do you say we had a 3-hour marathon thriller match to end the day, and it wasn't the headline. This is what it was. The world #1, Novak Djokovic, getting through the quarterfinals, 2 straight victories, and he did it with somewhat level of ease. He's got the lucky loser on the other side, Lorenzo Sonego, the Italian, and Novak Djokovic in his career. As we look at the comparison between these two, obviously Novak Djokovic in terms of Grand Slam titles has him beat, what is it, 17-0? Yes, that's what it would be. 4th round of Roland Garros this year. Sonego playing some of the best tennis of his career. But, Paul, Novak Djokovic had never dropped a set to a lucky loser in his career.
Yeah, and this was a combination of a couple things. One is Sonego started off really aggressively, hitting the ball big from the back of the court. Did everything right. And let's also remember Novak Djokovic, he came to this tournament wanting to secure the #1 ranking. And although no players want to lose, that #1 ranking is pretty much secure, and I think that deflated a little bit of the energy in Djokovic's mind more than his body, and he was a little bit flat. And give Sonego credit, he took advantage of that. All he needed was a little opportunity, and he started playing offensive tennis. He was dictating from the back of the court. Even look at this little get here and then finishing up at the net. It was all on display for Sonego. Really impressive for the young Italian to come out and really keep his nerve even when he got a lead. He was down a break point in the second set that maybe could have let Novak back in, but after that, that kind of broke the will a little bit. So good effort from the Italian.
Fewest games Novak Djokovic has won in 15 years, and we hear from the young Italian after his big victory.
When did you realize I could beat world #1? Was it during this first set, during the second set?
Yeah, I know. I played the best match in my life. I'm here. I'm so happy for this.
And I think it won't be the last, Lorenzo.
It's funny because we talk about all these Italians inside the top 100 now, and it feels like we never actually mentioned Lorenzo Sonego's name because he's into his mid-20s, and he had a really nice showing at Roland Garros, Chanda. He was somebody who I felt like broke onto the scene and won some big matches in a big way. It wasn't necessarily that he quietly got through. He won pretty handedly en route to the 4th round at Roland Garros. What impressed you today out of Sonego?
You know, I think it was just the way he stayed focused, the way he stayed in the moment. I mean, from the start, when he got the early break, he got that quick lead. I don't think any of us expected that, and he couldn't have either, but he handled it in stride. He kept playing his game, and he kept, I think, on serve, kept holding firm, and that was huge. I mean, he saved all 6 break points he faced against Novak Djokovic. That's pretty outstanding. He held his nerve, his ground, and what a fantastic win for him.
Yeah, you know, I think in the locker room, the players know what's going on. They know what's happening around, and Sonego wouldn't have had deaf ears knowing what Novak's main goal was this week. So I'm sure he felt like if I can get off to a good start, if I can just be aggressive at the beginning and create some doubt, deflate a little bit of the energy in Djokovic, and then I can just start playing my offensive game and stay with it. And that's exactly what he did. And Chanda, you're right. To see him not only do that, but then stay there in just a few rare moments where Novak could have maybe broken back once in the second set to get a little belief, could have done 1 or 2 things, and Sonego didn't flinch. So you got to give him a lot of credit. Saw the situation, took advantage of it, and he's done well. You mentioned it, 4th round at Roland Garros, starting to play good tennis and really impressing a lot of people.
Sonego will break into into the top 40 next week. A really great showing. And before we move on, I'm somebody, guys, who loves when life imitates art. And that's what we got today because, Paul, you pointed this out over in Paris. Check this one out.
Guys.
Yes, the split screen. Lorenzo Sonego today, dare I say, imitating Daniel LaRusso getting past Johnny Lawrence at the All Valley tournament.
I was wondering when our gang downstairs was going to latch onto this. I mean, you and I have been talking about it. I mean, wax on, wax off. Let's see it. This is the real deal right here. A little more facial hair this week, but I tell you what, not a bad little doppelganger there, huh?
It's pretty good.
Love it. It's perfect. I mean, we were talking about this. I didn't know where you were going at first, but I like it, Noah. I like it.
Yes, life imitates art. So the Karate Kid is moving on. And let's see, I don't know if Lorenzo's going to like that nickname. He's a big basketball fan, but he's into the semifinals regardless with some fantastic play. So the number 1 seed is gone. Dominic Thiem, the defending champion, said it would be nearly mission impossible because Novak Djokovic and others are in the draw. And if Novak is the hottest player on tour, then Andre Rublev, Chanda, has to be the second.
Yeah, and Dominic Thiem certainly up there, but it was Rublev who was just on fire. And at the end of this first set, that seemed to be critical. Right there, it just looked like Thiem maybe pulled up a little bit. He started having some trouble with the foot or the leg. It was hard to tell. But this was an incredible first set, no breaks. And it came down to the tie break. And it was Rublev who is playing such confident tennis. He's moving well. He's got a huge forehand, and that came through as well. And in the end, it just came down to a couple of points, literally, in what was a high-quality first set. In the second set, Rublev getting the early break. And at that point, it was clear that, you know, Thiem just wasn't quite moving the same way, wasn't going after every ball. But Rublev, to his credit, he stayed in there. He didn't get distracted and just kept the lead going. There you saw the shoe come off for Dominic Thiem. And it was just tough to tell if it was something on the ball of his foot. He didn't see the trainer and played on. But level dropped off a little bit, but a lot of that was credit to Rublev, who stayed really at max level throughout that match.
And Dominic Thiem has played a ton of tennis in 2020, including during the shutdown. Andre Rublev winning 18 of his last 19 matches, so he's into the semis. This one will decide who he will be facing in the semifinals. And Kevin Anderson, Paul, looking for his first top 10 win since the 2018 ATP Finals.
Yeah, this was impressive to watch. Right from the beginning, Anderson broke Medvedev, which allowed him to free up and play big man tennis, power tennis, big serving, aggressive ground strokes. Medvedev gives you some space, so you have to take it. You can't let him play. And Anderson was able to stay on that baseline, use the big ground strokes, find his way to the net. At the end of the second set, Medvedev had a few second serve return points that could have changed the momentum, missed a couple easy returns. Then he was up 2-0 in the tiebreak. Anderson did not blink, stuck with that power game, and that is a terrific win for Kevin Anderson.
It's similar to Andre Rublev. You credit him. You have to credit Kevin Anderson for what he did today. But Daniil Medvedev, coming into this tournament, had lost 4 of his previous 5 matches. And this was a very telling stat because we've been talking about the last few days about potential breakout players, really, for 2021. Daniil Medvedev was that breakout player in 2019. 12 semifinals or better, and the one this year was at the U.S. Open, but he had gotten to the final the year prior, so he didn't necessarily gain any more ranking points as a result of that. Something to keep in mind as we move towards the ATP Finals this year. Here's what we have to look forward to for semifinal Saturday. Chanda, we're going to start with you.
You know, I'm interested, would love to see how Francis Tiafoe backs up the win today against John Millman in a very winnable match. So real good opportunity for him to keep winning. Keep that momentum.
Yeah, I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. I'm still very impressed with what Dan Evans did today. I want to see if he can come back with the same energy against Sonego. Those guys are going to be feeling pressure because it's going to be the first opportunity for either of them to get the finals of a 500. It means a lot where they're both ranked. So it's going to be a very interesting match to watch.
And now I feel pressure because Paul always seems to put me and keep me on my toes, asking me who I'm ready to look out for. Now,
take it off today. Notice
I know.
Just let it go.
I appreciated it. And now I know how it feels to sit in their chair. It's not easy, folks, just to let you know.